So, gonna just be doing some stability ball exercises, like just kind of like a workshop, okay? So I know that not everybody has a stability ball. Get one, and let's try and generate some future interest in doing a Zoom where I can see you guys and we can work on things together. So this is something you can do while you're just sitting at home in front of your TV. That is when I first started using the stability ball, like adding it in. I work with a guy across the hall from my office, the university. He sits on one of these all day, right? So just like what I'm doing right now is a great sort of posture. So I'm just gonna go over some ways to like do some real basic balance work, right? So you're gonna mess up and you can just put your feet down, okay? Like the real basic goal for me in the beginning is figuring out how to sit with my feet crossed, okay? Like that. Now that is not super applicable to Jiu Jitsu, which is kind of the theme of this. Like I'm overall working my stability and balance. Sometimes I will sit like this in Jiu Jitsu, but I will definitely sit here, right? So like here I'm thinking like a single butterfly guard. I can put my hands beside me to help stabilize, and I can try and go both feet like out in front of me like this, or even both feet off the ball, right? Like I'm trying to play like an open guard. So that will really strengthen a lot of your stabilizer muscles that'll help you play guard, okay? So outside of sitting, like a more advanced, if you're pretty flexible, I like to try and do the lotus position, right? So take some balance. You gotta get your weight in the right spot, okay? So there, it's kind of like pausing in between, kind of to talk to you guys, but also to make my movements, right? There, I put my hands on the mat to stabilize me on this one, back up on the ball, and we're trying to sit. You don't want to fall off the ball while you have your legs in this position. So you can put your hands down if you need to, undo your lotus, okay? So that's some basic sitting ones that I really like. Work those just all the time, okay? So like again, those are kind of staple for me. Next, on our knees, okay? I'll do this in sideways so you can see, okay? I'm using my feet back here like hooks, all right? So I can just practice like being in the guard, all right? So I'm trying to like open, close guard, counter the sit-up sweep, all right? Now from here, different postures on like passing or both knees. I can position to face you guys here. I can put one knee up. So what I do is I coast to the center. My foot that's behind me on this leg braces in the back. My foot's being a hook, and I come up. Right? This is what we commonly refer to as combat base. Right? I'm going back down and coming back up. Combat base. Down. And now I'm just practicing my balance. Right? Practice going high posture on your knees like this. Right? It's a really good one. All right, so imagine somebody's doing a sit-up sweep to you, and you raise your hips to counter. Or they're trying to break your posture, and you raise your hips to counter. Right? Flexing my pelvis here, curling it forward. One knee, or other knee there, so I can work both sides, and then both knees in the center. Okay? Now, practice, this would be like a way to kind of get into going an advanced, more advanced technique or movement, and that is to do, to tie the two postures I showed together, sitting and on the knees. So I go to the side, right there. Now I'm in the seated position. Now, spend some time here, appreciate the fact that you did it, and then try and go all the way around. Or try and go back the same way that you came, but the goal is to get back to our knees like this, okay? So now in the beginning, and I use this for like some of my knee mount drills, you can do this sort of movement to help you, okay? This is like what I call a knee switch to around the world, okay? So the goal is to be able to do an around the world without putting your hands or your feet on the mat, which again is just doing a circle here, all right? And just tying the two postures together. So those two postures are seated, where my feet are up, my hands might be on the ball, they might be on me or up, and with your knees down, okay? So those are the basic two postures, more advanced. Now, I was able to learn how to do this in my apartment living room with a glass coffee table nearby, okay? So be careful if you're doing this, or if there are animals or kids around or something. But standing up on the ball, okay? I like here at the gym, I get between two heavy bags sometimes, but standing on the ball and doing squats on the ball are two fantastic exercises, okay? So one, I could go one knee at a time to stand up, or I can jump up to all fours, okay? I think one knee at a time will probably be sort of the best for most people, okay? Now, as you're trying to get better and develop your stabilizers, standing on the ball next to a wall or next to something can help you is good, but just getting time in and not trying to rush it. Like if you've never stood up on the ball and you don't work the stability ball, you probably won't be able to do this today, okay? But if you have really good balance, if you skate, if you work the endo board or something like that, chances are you might be able to, okay? So look, it's all about like when I transition to the 4 points of contact, where I have this other foot on the ball, right? You got to maintain your balance during that moment, okay? So here, this is a good spot to get your balance, okay? I'm trying to find a good center where the ball is not super wobbly. There we go, okay? So doing squats here, very good exercise, very good for development. And like ab straps hanging above you, or a pull-up bar with something attached to it could be helpful, right? So that is another posture, standing. Oh, okay, so you don't want to get taken down in Jiu Jitsu. You want to have better balance, okay? So work on things that better your balance. One of the reasons why I started doing stability ball work, okay? So we got sitting, we've got on both knees, we got standing, and that's just kind of 3 basic postures, okay? Next, let's go laying down, okay? Some real basic core fundamental grappling movements from a bridge position here, okay? So stepping out, hipping out, retracting this leg through, threading the needle. Now it's like I'm in a sprawl position, okay? So from here, I can complete my revolution. I turn to the side almost like my hips are in a kesa, and I come through, okay? So get a different angle here. So I kind of step out, I hip out, needle thread, turn on my hips, here. This one can occupy a lot of area. If you go in 360s, go like 180 back and forth, okay? So that's just like a needle thread, bridge sort of position. But this is really good, okay? So now I'm gonna go back through to my belly here, right? So just the idea of doing a sprawl. If I have partners I have in space, I have somebody roll a ball at me and I'll sprawl. It's a really good drill. But here, one thing we can do is we can pop up, sprawl. Pop up, sprawl. You can keep your hands on the ball, or you can put them on the mat. So you can just do a little sprawl drill. Another sprawl drill I really like, and again, this is just turning here. Switching to that knee mount, okay? And from here, I'm working my knee slide pass, back to there. Micro my hips to the other side, knee on belly. Boom. So these really work my hips, okay? So just like the action of teaching your hips to turn, teaching your hips to get connection by moving forward, right? Versus being like this, connecting my hip. All right, so here, one more time on that sequence. Lift yourself up, knee on belly, knee slide pass, right there. Switch my hips, other side, here. Just knee slide, like that, Okay, so that's one that the other morning that I was in training with our instructors for Jiu Jitsu. We were working on 10-planet warm-ups, and we had 2 of us working drills, and the other guy was doing that one. Okay, so train and work your hips, fundamental grappling movements. You do them all on the ball. Okay, so let's go over just a few more. Some knee switch drills. Okay, lots of knee switch drills on the fitness ball. Now, one that I'm going to show is like one of the very first ones I really learned. I did a private lesson with a guy named Fei Zhao, and some of the best privates I ever did. I did several with him, and he had me like do a circuit where I was like, he's like, oh yeah, come choke me over here, and then I'll go do that with the medicine ball, hip escapes, and then do this. Like this is like drill to win style stuff, but he had me doing it like 2009, 10, something like that. But he had me on one of the stations. I was here in the center, balanced, and it's doing like a isometric pose here, and then coming back to the center, and then giving myself like a good 1,000. 1,000. It really taxes you to hold yourself in like this one knee on the ball, invisible knee mount, right? So now another one I really like is just switching my hips, switch my knees rather. Okay, just a knee switch drill. Cora and I were just in here working 10-planet warm-ups to D series, and on the D series you do knee switches, right? Okay, you could do that one that I did a second ago, where I swing my legs in front, here, here, here. Those are great drills for knee mount. Okay, now, other drills for knee mount. Popping up into knee mount. We did that, right? So, here, 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 here. Doing that for like 15, 30 seconds as a part of a cardio circuit is great. Okay, a couple more knee mount drills. Passing to knee mount. Okay, I love using this to do out my guard passing, particularly standing passes. But as you saw, you can do some low passes too. Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is this. I'm going to step around, knee switch, step around, knee switch. Okay, then the other one is the X-style pass here. Like where I can do that kick back, knee switch, kick back, knee switch. Okay, this one, step over, knee switch, or step through. It could be like this. Okay, like that. I see some people really exaggerate this one, and they'll put their foot there and do it like that. Okay? It's just another version of this one, really, think about it, okay? So I can go here, I can go here, right? You see one's there, that's the ultra beginner version, right? This one, a little more advanced, and this one's like you're playing basketball. I like it a lot, because I can never dribble between my legs, you know? So it makes me feel cool, right? Here. Add in different knee switches here, different drills, and work those knee switches on your guard pass. Okay. Those are some basics. I'm gonna go over just a couple more. If you have comments, if you're on the live, throw some comments. You have requests. If you're watching this on our YouTube, we're closed down right now because of coronavirus. So we're filming a live and I'm working on different content that you guys can do at home. So I'm gonna throw a few in just for general fitness purposes. Okay, kind of like some of that beginning stuff I did. It's just good for general fitness. All those balances, postures, where I'm just like working on the basics of like sitting, being on my knees, standing up. Then I'm starting to do squats and stuff like that. So those are some things for you guys to recap on. Now, I'm going to show a few exercises, as I mentioned, for fitness, okay? These are to work into what you're doing. So like make yourself a little circuit out of a stability ball, add a medicine ball for a station or a dumbbell or something, right? But these are accessible to you. Order one and get them at Walmart, okay? So this is gonna be push up on the ball, on the mat, and then a plank curl, okay? And with this one, I will include one last Jiu Jitsu movement. So I'm gonna do kind of like a circuit out of this, of a sit through, okay? Now I really like to do like alternate, like hands on the mat, hands on the ball, hands on the mat, hands on the ball. So I'll just kind of improvise a little circuit here, okay? So I'm gonna go, hands on the ball, and I'm going to go 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go hands on the mat. I'm going to do 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm on my thighs. You can come way on out on your shins, and that's going to work your lower ab more. Okay. Now I'm going back to on the ball, or hands on the ball rather. Do 5 push-ups again, or do 4, or do 10, 8, 6, whatever you're doing. I'm going to stay with my 5, 2, 3. Flex your abs, 4 and 5. Planking like this is really good. Okay. Then instead of doing 5 push-ups on the mat, since I'm doing push-ups here every time, what I'm going to do here is a plank curl. So here, you can do this on your thighs. I'm going to do it on my shins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to hands on the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, the last one, I'll do 5 sit-throughs. Okay? It's just a good one. This is a jiu-jitsu one I mentioned. I've done literally thousands of these, like training for tournaments. I love the idea of being able to switch my hips. Okay? So I like to come down on my elbow. You can stay up on both hands. If I come to my elbow on one side, keep the hips up. So that side that I'm putting all my weight on, I have my elbow down versus my palm up. Okay, my arm straight and my palm down. Okay, so watch this. This arm's gonna straighten, that one drops. And it's timed with my hips switching. Okay? All right. That's just a little off the cuff, guys. Just some bonus materials for you to be working on. Okay? While you're closed and out of the gym right now, I just want to encourage everybody. Like, I've been exercising almost every single day outside of the gym since November. And it's, it's difficult staying motivated. So you guys go get some stuff that you can do at the house that will keep you motivated, okay? All right, thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you soon. Whatever.